Kush's movie review.
Yes, Kush's movie review. Welcome. It's episode 107 of Waffle Box Kush's movie review. If you are watching the standalone version, don't forget to click the thumbs up button, give us a subscribe, and all that good stuff. This week on the movie review, Kush is talking about, let me read the full title, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Ugh. I hate movies that do this shit. Hey, do you want to come see this movie? Oh, by the way, there's not going to be an ending. Enjoy.
So I'm actually happy to report, unlike Fast X, unlike Spider-Verse 2, both movies that were promised, you're definitely getting a sequel after this. And here's a hard stop. Mission Impossible actually has a fucking ending. Like Tom Cruise can choke on some shrimp salad tomorrow, die, leave this mortal coil, and we won't get Mission Impossible 7 Part 2. And this would be a complete movie. There's still a cliffhanger. There's still some things we need to work out, but yeah, man, we actually get a complete movie here in the vein of Empire Strikes Back. Ooh. It's not Mission Impossible's Empire Strikes Back, by the way. That's just the example everyone likes to use. By the way, in my attempt to dress up like an agent of the Impossible Mission Force, I somehow ended up looking like a member of YouTube. So I'm gonna just change these glasses out for a second so I can at least read my review. There we go. Hot damn. Woo! Look at me.
Oh, now you look like John Lennon's about to break into someone's house.
As long as Yoko isn't there, we're gonna get away scot-free because that bitch makes way too much noise.
Oh no, she'll be right behind him. John, still the good stuff. Imagine all the people tied up in the lounge. Don't call the police.
Oh no. So we don't get a kidnapping charge. We wait for those fuckers to go out of town.
Oh, smart. Like the Wet Bandits. Yeah. Home Alone 5. Right. Paul and John.
Ooh, you want to be Paul?
Sure, I'll do a little.
But you make a good
John.
At least a Ringo.
We're part of the Beatles. Let's go rub a hose. That was a terrible Liverpudlian accent. I apologize.
No, it's forgotten. So this is directed and written by Christopher McQuarrie. It is also written by a man named Eric Jendrinson, and of course stars Tom Cruise, Haley Atwell, who y'all know as Captain Carter from the Captain America movies, and then Esai Morales, who most of you know as Richie Valens' brother Bob from La Bamba, all the way back in 1987. Yeah. Dude, I am so happy they made Esai Morales the villain in this. Like, he is amazing, and guess what? You only want more Esai in this. He's just, dude. Not only is he a great villain in this, but I cannot wait for him to come back in Part 7, Part 2. Okay, I still don't know how these numbers work out. All right, but
that's some Final Fantasy shit.
Esai Morales will return. This is Mission Impossible, and you know what? The Fast and the Furious saga gets a lot of grief for being the same movie every time, and somehow Mission Impossible is also guilty of that, and yet it gets a pass. Because, well, Tom Cruise does all his own stunts. Well, the Fast and Furious crew also tries to do all their own stunts. And anyway, Mission Impossible is the same goddamn movie every single time. 7 movies now, and it somehow still manages to exceed itself. Yeah, maybe the worst one is Part 7, but it was John Woo, and they were trying something different, and it was the late 90s, and shit. I dare you to have a bad time during that because it was just such a bizarre film. But then J.J. Abrams took over in Part 3, and then they just got better with each edition. He hasn't been a part of anything since I think part 5 at the latest. I think part 5 was his last one, and then Tom Cruise took over so that he could do all of his own ridiculous stunts, hanging off the side of an airplane, jumping off a cliff, a halo jump with the aforementioned Henry Cavill. You know, they do a lot of crazy shit, and this movie again is no different. Like, in fact, this movie might be inferior stunt wise because the whole thing is that you've seen this in the commercial for the last year and a half. He rides a motorcycle off a cliff and then just free falls. And sure, he's got a parachute. The objective is for him to land on a speeding train
As
that
you do.
they
As
don't
you
know
do.
is out of control. They spent a year prepping for that, and they still couldn't get him to land on the train. So then, out of nowhere, he just crashes through a wall, and like, hey,
Oh
Tom
yeah!
Cruise! Like, oh yeah, yeah, very Kool-Aid of you. Thank you, Mike Fish.
It's a Kool-Aid cruise.
There you go. There you go. So this is PG-13, and people get murked in this. There's some intense murders that happens in this, so it's still surprising this is a PG-13, but there's no blood spatter, and like we don't see people's organs falling out of their stomach, but still 2 hours 43 minutes.
Oh,
this is a very long movie, and it's also
it's only halfway done.
sequel. We're only halfway through it. Didn't feel a runtime. Did not feel a runtime. Was into it the entire way we went through. And yeah, man, Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise. What can't he do wrong? I'm sure he's been in. Yes, he's been in bad movies, but he's never been the worst thing about the movie. Haley Atwell, Captain Carter, feels like they're trying to set up a handing of the torch off to her,
spin-offs.
and there might be a spinoff, but I don't foresee that happening.
I hope so, just to see
Hawkeye,
Twitter explode. No, my Ethan Hunt's a man. I don't want no Ethan Hunt. Why is there a woman? Why is it's PC gone mad.
Well, your Ethan Hunt will still be a man. However, Grace might get her own movie after part 7, part 2. Highly unlikely, though.
I want my spies to have a vagina.
They try to do this with Jeremy Renner in like part 5.
Gone mad, Kush. Pasty gone mad.
Sure.
Sorry,
anyway, it did work with Jeremy Renner, and he was everybody's substitute spy. It didn't work with The Bourne Legacy. It didn't work with Mission Impossible 5, whatever that thing was. So I doubt Haley Atwell is going to get. Which one was that? Was that Ghost Protocol? Maybe. They all again. Like I said,
they stopped numbering them, which is fucking annoying. I hate it when they do that.
They stopped numbering them after number 3. It was literally Mission Impossible 3, and then we got. It was probably Ghost Protocol. I don't remember.
Doesn't matter. They're all the same.
Funny story about part 4. So we had seen that trailer for part 4 for like months. Okay. The Kremlin explodes, and Tom Cruise is trying to outrun the explosion at the Kremlin. I went to go see Harold and Kumar Save Christmas, and someone gave me an edible. It was the size of a nickel. Okay. It was that small. Maybe it had a unit of measurement on it. Like, this is 100 milligrams worth of THC. I wouldn't have even known. If I could have read it, I wouldn't have even known that wasn't a good thing. But I took this little nickel-sized edible, and it kicked in immediately while I was on the bus. I was like, oh, this is like sinking in. And I'm like, oh, we're starting this adventure now. Okay, here we go. Get to the movie theater to watch Harold and Kumar Save Christmas in 3D. And I swear, I apparently left after like 10 minutes, but I thought I was in there an hour. And during the Mission Impossible 4 trailer, I went, oh no, they blew up the Kremlin! Oh shit!
Someone
And
should
that's why
do
you
something
need to
about it.
be
Someone
aware of your
call
edibles, kids.
the president. They're not going to be happy about this.
Anyways, this is still the same movie as it has been the last 7 films. The Ethan Hunt gets disavowed. He is doing some against the agency's wishes. He has to go chase the MacGuffin, and then ultimately saves the world with his team. And then all is well again. And they're like, "Thank you, Ethan Hunt. America and the world owes you a debt of gratitude." By
You
the
can
way,
come back until
you
the
got
next
time.
movie.
Well, if you got some time, there's another mission we need you to go. Like,
But this
this is
one
still that same movie.
is really impossible.
They kind of flirt with the idea of how people get recruited for the Impossible Mission Force. Um, it's never occurred to me why Tom Cruise was on the IMF team. He's
Because
an
he can
agent.
fly a
No,
fighter jet
apparently
like a motherfucker.
he might be able to in this universe, but yeah, apparently Tom Cruise was a very bad man in his past. We finally kind of explore that. We flirt with the idea of that might be a thing, and then we get into this whole thing about consent. And no one made me do this. No one made me be an IMF agent. I chose to do this, and because of my unique set of skills, they offered me prison or be super sexy super agent. And I chose super sexy super agent. And I've been saving the day ever since, baby. They Ving Rhames apparently went through this. Simon Pegg apparently went through this. Rebecca, a lady who's not in this movie series anymore after this movie. Spoiler alert: she went through this. They Their whole lives is to have blame thrust upon them should shit go bad. It's crazy. Anyways, this movie takes place on 5 of the 7 continents, multiple foreign locations. It's a great looking movie. The stunts are fantastic. The whole thing with the train at the end, dude. Yeah, again, on the edge of my seat. Not because my lower back is acting up, because how the fuck are they going to get out of this? Again, Tom Cruise is doing all of his own stunts. Yeah, enjoyed the shit out of this. All 2 hours and 43 minutes of this. Did not feel the length. Snuck out to go to the bathroom once because it is that long, and old daddy likes to sip his iced tea a little bit. Anyways, strong 4 out of 5. Is it the best movie of the year? No. Is it the best movie this summer? Probably. Will I go see it again? Only to catch up with part 7, part 2. Um, Stayed all the way through credits, not expecting an end credit scene, just a title card saying Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2 will return next year, or date announced.
Right.
Nope. Nope. By the way, there was a time when we filmed sequels back to back because it's somehow cheaper that way. So I
Like
don't
Back
know
to the Future
why
2
we
and 3.
haven't filmed. Always the best example. Full Moon used to do this also as well. Anyway, Dead Reckoning Part 2. I'm not even sure they're in production right now. This movie is going to make money. It's a fantastic film. I don't need to see it again until we see the sequel. But yeah, enjoyed the shit out of it. Again, this series only exceeds each edition. So, Mission Impossible 7, Part 1, 4 out of 5.
Boom. Check it out, folks. Check it out.
It's crazy.
What? What's crazy?
It is honestly crazy that it keeps, again,
What,
it's the
life?
same goddamn movie every time, and it just gets better and better. By the
I
way,
actually did. While you was
Fast and
reviewing the
Furious
movie,
7.
as I say, while you was reviewing the movie, I did go to IMDb to see if all the synopses were very similar, but they made it slightly different. And I was like, oh, that's no fun. But it would have been funny if they used the exact same wording for each movie. That would be funny.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but I believe that they try to make this a different movie each time, but it's the same movie. It's the same movie. Um, what was I saying? It doesn't matter anymore. That's all right.
4 out of 5. Check it out.
That's all, folks.